Hello, darlings. Bunny Galore here, the queen of the cult movies. I'm here with the creator of the amazing spooky film Entity and the star himself. Hello, boys. Well, I have to congratulate you to start with. Well done. A fantastic, fantastic, scary movie. So when did you first have the germ of the idea?
The germ of the idea, about 3 years and a couple of months before we delivered the film to Metrodome for distribution. So I'd say 3¼ years.
That's quite a long period. Did it go through many? Was that to get the funding? Was that to finalise the script? I mean, obviously, with independent films, the funding is quite important, isn't it?
The script took me a year to write because I broke the rules, and I wouldn't recommend anybody does this, which is you find the locations which we stumbled across, and then it was a case of standing back and saying, what do we do with these locations? What is the story here? It was actually another director, Stuart St. Paul, said to me, go and spend a night in those places and see what they say to you. So I did.
But you know, I don't think that's a bad thing. It can risky, but I think that's an incredible idea because I think as if you have a vision as far as film or TV goes, if you see something in the lens that inspires you, then that's a good thing.
Yes.
It is probably the longer way round of doing it because then you've got to try and fit everything in. But so you took it was a year initially from that first. Did you actually spend the night there?
I actually spent the night there.
By yourself?
Partially by myself. I had about 4 hours there. On my own.
There's no way. There's no way I'd do that. It's terrifying.
It wasn't good. I wouldn't do it again.
Sorry, where is the location, by the way?
The locations are in the Selby district of North Yorkshire. I'm actually under contract to not reveal where they are, despite the fact that on a million blogs out there, they'll tell you exactly where they are. But I can't tell you.
We're not now children at home. Please don't go out there and spend the night in Selby. Just don't.
What the hell is this place? Why would you put someone in there?
I'll tell you a funny story. One of the locations was under demolition. We needed to go back and do a reshoot at one of the locations while it was being demolished. So they preserved the corridor for us for 2 days while they demolished the entire building around the corridor.
That's a DVD extra waiting to happen, isn't it?
The corridor stood on an industrial. We had to make it light tight, but that's where some of the plate shots for some of the effects were shot. It was literally that corridor, the whole building had gone.
Wow.
That was funny.
Well, oh my, that's amazing. How lovely of them to do it, because people don't have to do that, and to sort of like.
They were awesome.
So, although you're obviously the main driving force of the movie, but with cinematography and have you worked with people before? Is this
I'd made shorts in the past. You know, I'd made shorts, but I've had a 15-year career as a digital artist. So it was literally a case of Christmas 2010. I thought, I'm going to stop talking about this, and I'm going to go out and make a film. And, you know, we thought, well, we'll throw 20 grand at this. That was a laugh. You know, I went into denial after the 40 grand went into it. And luckily, we got investment. We did get support from Screen Yorkshire, East Midlands Media. And then when we got Dervla and Charlotte on board, that's when extra funding came, primarily through 2 private investors. It was literally beg as you go. I mean, I think we shot Entity for total 74,000. So we got to the end of principal photography, 74 grand. There's a slight problem with that, Bunny. There's a thing in the filmmaking process called post-production. How the hell are you going to finance that? So that was where it was begging, borrow. Yeah, you get delays. You're off project for 4 months as you're trying to get, you know, it was.
I think, you know what, you've hit the major problem, because I've seen it happen with one film I'm very excited about, was supposed to come out in 2012, an American independent film called Girls Will Be Girls with the sequel, and it's still in post-production, because I think they green screened it all, and that's post-production and then advertising is the main problem. I think people don't quite realise that's going to be a bigger problem.
We're lucky because I, as a director and producer, fell into that trap headlong. You just think, shoot the film, you're there and done. And of course you aren't. You're in a massive process. I mean, the post-production, though still peanuts by the film industry standard, that was another 50 grand we had to find. So the whole film came in around 130 grand.
No, I agree. I don't think people realise that, and I didn't until I've now friends that are doing their first features or done their first features, and I'd say particularly one of them, 97% of it was made in the edit and in the post-production. Of course, the other 3% needed all the help it could get, probably. But not saying anything. But they made a huge. So that taught me what you can do with sound and with grading and it's not we're not talking about special effects as in it's not like a huge monster running around the place. Can you imagine how expensive that would get? Yeah. But well done, because I think it looks extremely expensive. And I'm absolutely amazed you've done it for that budget. But I can understand that it took another X amount to get to 50 grand to get to that.
My favourite story is when we met with Metrodome. Giles Edwards at Metrodome, our distributor, said there were certain things that they needed to consider if the movie had a budget over $3 million, and asked me if the film had cost more than $3 million to make. And that's from an experience, so I thought, I'm going to have that. I'm having that.
And you go, yes, it did.
It did cost considerably less than that, but yeah, so we're pleased. But thank you.
No, really, and of course, a very classy cast. Oh, indeed. Did you audition for the part, or have something you've worked together before?
No, I actually worked with Rob, the producer, before. We did like a short film, kind of where I play this tormented, twisted guy, as usual. And actually this character, Yuri...
Are they trying to tell you something? Is that what
Probably, yeah. I'm not sure what, but this character, Yuri, the first script that I was given was actually a completely different character. I was this 50-plus year-old British professor of paranormal studies, and Steve saw me in Whitechapel, where I played this creepy morgue man who sleeps among the dead, again, something so. And
I will look that up.
and so he just changed the part and made it into this Russian weird guy that Yuri is now.
Well, and done so well. But as you say, it's a very quick shoot. And obviously it'll be out of sequence, your shooting schedule, but in a way, with actors, I think in a way, if you want to energize people, speed is always a good way of doing it, because that's gonna get, as long as they're good and they know on the stuff, and it's a great all-round cast, How did you find the shooting? We'll pretend that Steve's not here, and we're just like, did you?
I loved it. It was really fun. I wanted to do a horror film for years, and was really waiting for a good script to come along, and yeah, that was it really, and it was so much fun, although, it was dirty, dusty, cold locations, and it was really messy at times, and at the same time, those locations helped us for the characters, so we never had to do much, actually. We didn't have to act much.
No, very true.
I think one story sums up our locations, okay? There was a location we used called Stillingfleet. In this particular warehouse in Stillingfleet, we recorded a temperature of -24. On the very same day, a member of our crew went off and researched what the temperature was at the North Pole on that day, and it was -24. So we had exactly the same temperature. It was only for about an hour, but that gives you an idea.
That inspires you to work quickly, if anything does.
The website is www.entitythemovie.com. It's available everywhere, all usual online and high street retailers. And the next project's going to be called Extremis. Alan Latham to produce, and we hope to shoot in May, June next year. Much bigger budget this time, thank goodness.
Well, congratulations, guys, and enjoy the festival. And well done with the film. Hello, darlings. Bunny Galore back with you again. The queen of the cult movies, and here with Rick. And we've been friends for a little while on the interweb, haven't we?
We have indeed. We are on
Twitter. I try desperately to try and keep up with modern technology. Desperately, but I try. And under your name of Cyberschizoid, a man of many projects, and the one for 2013 is the new magazine. So, and I didn't realise actually you'd already up to issue 2. So that's really good. Is it your concept? Are you collaborating with somebody else?
No, it's my concept. It's something that I've wanted to do since I was about 8. you know, 17,000 years ago. And
A few months ago now.
darling, yeah, very kind. And when I was a kid, I didn't want to be a famous actor or a pop star or a train driver. I wanted to be Des Skin, who is like a publisher and editor who he created lots of really cool magazines in the 70s. He did House of Hammer, which is like a really highly regarded magazine, Monster Mag, Starburst, which is actually now still going.
I was very excited when they started following me on Twitter. I nearly had a heart attack. So I was thinking, the Starburst? The Starburst? So, yes.
They're supportive of my magazine, which is lovely of them. And he did Star Wars Weekly, Doctor Who Weekly, which is now Doctor Who Monthly, which is a huge seller. Amazing guy, and I just wanted to emulate some of the stuff. And also Forrest J. Ackerman, the American guy who invented Famous Monsters magazine, which was the first regular classic horror film magazine. And so this is kind of like it's like a homage in some ways, but it's fresh in others because the writing is fresh. It's all about the old school films and television shows, anything from the silent days right up to mid-80s. There's many places you can buy Space Monsters at the moment, but you can order it directly through the Classic Horror Campaign website. Just go to www.classichorrorcampaign.com, and there's a dedicated Space Monsters page, and you can click pay with PayPal. It's easy. It's £5 per issue plus postage. Also, the Cinema Store in London sells it. There's some stores in the States that sell it, and there's a digital version, which is actually from number 2 is full colour, and that is through the Dead Good newsstand, so look that up. It's linked to Haunted magazine that's sponsoring this event, so they've done the digital version. So plenty of places, and in Brighton you can get it at Emporium Theatre and the Naughty Pirates Gallery on the seafront. Everyone's beginning to sell it, basically.
I want to go to the Naughty Pirates Emporium in Brighton. Just because, really. Hello, darlings. Bunny Galore here, the queen of the cult movies. I'm here with Dan Brownlie, who's a connoisseur of horror and has, well, I think, a bit of a hero of mine for finishing a film when everyone else gets fired.
Most recent project is I've just finished a film called Serial Caller with Danny Thompson and Debbie Roshan and many other wonderful people. And it's based around the world of babestation, for those who know what that is. Or those who admit to know who that is.
Yes, funny enough, I have caught some of the channel's work by leaning on the control late at night, and it is for anyone that doesn't know, it's I don't even know how to describe it really, but it's a bit like an 088 number type of situation with ladies with their phones waiting for a gentleman to call them to discuss
Whoever.
Shoe size, shopping, that sort of thing. So
it's very sort of 80s, 90s slasher. The two influences is Danny Thompson, who likes the Scream style slasher, and then there's me, who likes the Maniac style slasher. So it's a combination of the both.
I think I've dated both those types. Funny enough, if you say that now, yeah. It's like just psychopathic, really. But anyway,
Danny Thompson wrote it originally, and she gave it to me, and I sort of said I like the gist of it, but I'd really like to change the ending. And when you see the ending, you'll realise why I wanted to change it.
I'm on tenterhooks now.
The ending's just sort of like the big boom. The ending's a social message of the film, and I also changed a lot of the kills because I thought the kills are too toned down. And then the boss rewrote the kills, so some of the kills are really great and gory. Some of them are slightly more tame, depending on.
I think what's the rule that Roger Corman has, that you've got to kill somebody within the first 10 minutes and make it quite a big one.
Yeah.
And then you do it at intervals throughout the movie.
It is my first love, is anthology films, which I'm working on another project called Self-Induced Nightmares, where I shoot a wraparound story and get independent filmmakers to submit the shorts. So it literally works as a showcase for people who want a feature film credit but haven't got enough budget to actually do a feature film. Facebook, which is facebook.com/brandbfilms. I have a website which is in much need of updating, but is www.brand-b.co.uk, and I'm on Twitter as brandbcorp. And that's all me.